They let you down. They promised, but they didn't deliver. You expected them to show up, to follow through, to be reliable. But instead, they vanished, leaving behind nothing but disappointment. Your mind races. How could they do this? Why don't they care? Your emotions demand justice, a response, a confrontation. Anger rises in your chest. Frustration clouds your thoughts. You feel betrayed. But what if I told you that the most powerful move you can make is not to react at all? That true strength is found not in proving a point or demanding explanations, but in radical acceptance? Most people believe power lies in controlling others, getting them to act right, to fulfill promises, to meet expectations. But the real power? That comes from controlling yourself. When someone disappoints you, they expect you to react. They expect anger, resentment, or desperate attempts to seek validation. They expect emotional chaos. And that is exactly why acceptance is so powerful. Because when you don't react, when you simply acknowledge reality without resistance, you break the cycle. You confuse them. You force them to wonder why you are unfazed, why you are not chasing answers, why you are not breaking down. This is where the Stoic mindset shines. It teaches us that we cannot control others, only our response to them. And when you master the art of radical acceptance, you do more than just protect your peace. You gain the upper hand. You become unpredictable, intriguing, even intimidating. Welcome back to Mindful Stoicism. In this video we will explore the power of this mindset, how staying calm in the face of disappointment leaves others confused, intrigued, and even regretful. Let's dive in. 1. The power of acceptance over reaction. When someone disappoints you, your first instinct might be to react. You feel betrayed, frustrated, maybe even hurt. You want to express your emotions, call them out, demand explanations, or make them understand the impact of their actions. But here's the harsh truth. Reacting emotionally doesn't change the situation. In fact, it often makes it worse. Think about it. When you react out of anger or disappointment, you are handing over control of your emotions to the very person who let you down. You are showing them that their actions have the power to affect your inner peace. This only reinforces their sense of control, making them feel important even if they hurt you. But what happens when you don't react? When you choose radical acceptance instead? Suddenly the dynamic shifts. The person who expected your anger or frustration is now left in confusion. They begin to question their own significance in your life. Why aren't they reacting? Why do they seem unbothered? And in that silence, in that refusal to give them an emotional response, you take back your power. Acceptance is not about tolerating bad behavior or becoming passive. It's about mastering yourself. It's about understanding that people will always act according to their nature, not your expectations. You cannot control others, but you can always control how you respond. When you accept disappointment without resistance, you show emotional maturity and self-discipline. You send a powerful message: I am unshaken by your actions. My peace does not depend on you. This kind of acceptance is rare. Most people react impulsively because they seek validation. They want closure, explanations, or apologies. But the truth is, you don't need any of those things. The only thing you need is inner stability. When you stop looking for external validation and start embracing acceptance, you become untouchable. The greatest strength is found in calmness. When you accept reality as it is, without forcing, chasing, or reacting, you not only protect your own peace but also shift the balance of power. And in that moment, the one who disappointed you starts to feel the weight of their actions, not because you reacted, but because you didn't. This is the power of acceptance over reaction. This is how you take control not of others but of yourself. 2. Why people expect your reaction. Human behavior is deeply rooted in patterns. From childhood, we learn that actions create reactions. If a child cries, a parent comforts them. If someone is insulted, they retaliate. This cycle of action and reaction is ingrained in our psychology, making it natural for people to expect a response when they disappoint you. When someone lets you down, whether intentionally or not, they assume their actions will stir something in you. They expect you to react emotionally, whether it's through anger, disappointment, or an attempt to seek closure. They believe they have some level of control over your emotions, that their actions dictate your state of mind. And in many cases they're right, because most people instinctively react without thinking. People who disappoint you often do so because they take you for granted. They assume you will tolerate their inconsistencies, that you will complain but ultimately still be there. They believe that by triggering a reaction they are still important to you. Even negative emotions, like frustration or sadness, reaffirm their place in your life. After all, if you're upset, it means you still care. But what happens when you don't react? When you don't beg for explanations, when you don't confront them, when you don't show any sign of distress? Suddenly the power shifts. They start wondering, why aren't they reacting? Did I lose my influence? Are they moving on? Instead of you seeking their validation, they begin seeking yours. This is why non-reaction is so powerful. It disrupts the pattern they expect. It forces them to sit with their own actions and question themselves. In some cases, it even triggers regret. When they see you unaffected, they start to wonder if they misjudged your worth. They question whether they've lost something valuable. The key here is understanding that your silence, your composure, and your ability to accept reality without resistance are what make you untouchable. It sends a clear message. You are not dependent on anyone's actions for your peace of mind. This, in turn, creates an aura of self-respect and confidence that is far more powerful than any emotional reaction could ever be. People expect your reaction because they are used to controlling others through emotional manipulation, guilt, or drama. But when you refuse to play their game, you not only confuse them, you command respect. 3. The mindset of radical acceptance. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." These words hold the key to inner peace and true resilience. Radical acceptance is not about tolerating disrespect or pretending things don't hurt. It's about acknowledging reality without resistance. It is the conscious choice to stop wasting energy on things outside your control. Think about it. How much time do we spend dwelling on things we wish were different? We replay conversations in our minds, analyze why someone treated us unfairly, and wonder how we could have changed the outcome. But none of that changes the fact. What's done is done. The past cannot be rewritten, and people's actions are ultimately beyond our control. So why resist reality? Why fight against something that has already happened? Radical acceptance is the ability to look at a situation, no matter how disappointing, and say, "This is what it is." It doesn't mean you approve of it. It doesn't mean you like it. It simply means you recognize that resisting reality only prolongs your suffering. When you master this mindset, you shift from reacting emotionally to responding wisely. Consider this scenario. Someone you trusted betrays you. Your immediate reaction might be anger, heartbreak, or a need for revenge. But instead of spiraling into emotional turmoil, imagine stepping back and saying, they showed me who they are. I accept this truth. Now, I decide what to do with this information. This mindset does not make you passive. It makes you powerful. Instead of being controlled by emotions, you control how you move forward. Radical acceptance also confuses people who expect a reaction from you. When someone tries to hurt you, ignore you, or manipulate you, they expect to see an emotional response. When you give them nothing but indifference, they don't know what to do. They start questioning their own actions. Did they underestimate you? Have they lost their influence over you? The moment they realize you are no longer emotionally invested, they start to feel the weight of their own behavior. This is the true power of radical acceptance. It is not weakness, it is the ultimate strength. It protects your peace, forces others to reflect, and keeps you in control of your own emotions. Once you embrace it, you will never look at disappointment the same way again. For how this confuses and controls them. Imagine this: someone lets you down. Maybe they canceled plans at the last minute, ignored your messages, or made promises they never intended to keep. Deep down, they expect a reaction from you: frustration, disappointment, or even confrontation. That's how most people respond. That's what they're used to. But when you do nothing, when you meet their actions with silence and acceptance instead of emotional turmoil, something unexpected happens. They start wondering, why aren't they reacting? Don't they care? Did I lose my influence over them? This is where you regain control. Because when someone disappoints you, they subconsciously test how much power they hold over you. They assume that their actions will trigger a response, that they can manipulate your emotions to get attention, validation, or even an argument. But when you don't give them that satisfaction, when you respond with composure instead of chaos, you disrupt their expectations. This confusion leads to something even more powerful: self-doubt. They start questioning themselves instead of you. Did I misjudge their feelings? Have they moved on? Are they stronger than I thought? Suddenly, the person who was supposed to be in control, the one who disappointed you, becomes the one overanalyzing the situation. This is psychological leverage. Your silence forces them to face the weight of their actions. Unlike words, which can be argued with or ignored, silence is deafening. It lingers in their mind, making them rethink their decisions. If they had assumed you were weak, your unshakable composure proves them wrong. If they thought you would chase, your indifference forces them to reconsider their importance in your life. More often than not, people who act carelessly do so because they expect a safety net: your emotional investment, your predictable reactions. But when that safety net is gone, when they realize they might have actually lost you, that's when regret kicks in. They might try to win back your attention, test your patience again, or even apologize. But by then you've already won. True power isn't about forcing people to change, it's about being so unaffected that they choose to change in response to you. And that is why staying calm, staying detached, and embracing acceptance confuses and ultimately controls them. If you found value in this, remember, acceptance is not weakness, it's dominance over your emotions. Let me know in the comments, how do you handle disappointment? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Stoic wisdom. Stay strong, stay mindful.